Hey there, it's Riz and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am a small booktuber from Davao City, Philippines, and every once in a while I post faith-based content, and for now I mainly do booktube. So for this week's content, we're gonna be talking about SB19's What music video, and we're gonna be analyzing its literary elements, especially its quote unquote woke elements and things I bet you didn't notice in the music video. So if you haven't watched SB19's What music video yet, I would just link the music video below. So watch that first before going right straight to this content right now. So for the first part sa series na to, I talked about the visual elements and symbolisms na mayroon sa music video. So basically, I'll just add to that, no? And isasali ko na rin yung mga woke elements na hindi masyado napansin, I guess, things I bet you didn't notice. So, from the first part of this series natouch ko na yung subject of style stuff, where he had a lot of elements out there, which are like water, soil, lightning, blah blah blah, and etc. And they could like represent the bounty and prosperity na mayroon sa Pilipinas. And if you didn't know, our country is mostly composed of farmers, and iilan lang are part of the, let's say, working force sa industry, or iilan lang din yung mga mayroong white-collar jobs. So as you can see, we are mostly composed of farmers, and I think you could say that the peg that style was like doing or representing on this music video could be the farmers. While in comparison to that, here comes Josh's set, where he represents the intellectuals, right? So probably those people who are working with like white-collar jobs and etc. And here comes Ken, who is probably like representing those people na naroroon sa laylayan, those people who are in the margins. So, kung san-san pa tayo napupunta. So, to start this, I'm gonna be talking about the first element I bet you didn't notice sa music video ng What. Alright? So, first element would probably be ang isang daang karera that could be found doon sa newspaper na project doon sa music video. Carrera or career. So this could mean a lot of us have different careers. So there's no such thing as one and only track, alright, for all people. So may iba't ibang karera. Alright, may iba't ibang future, may iba't ibang goals, may iba't ibang roles ang isa't isa. I thought you didn't see that kasi medyo mabilis yung frame and I did a lot of effort para screen cap in a part dun sa music video. Now let us proceed to the next element or theme that I bet you didn't notice dun sa music video. That would be the chains element or chain breaking. So, merong naganap na chain to chain, hindi sure action guys, pero one frame may chain, the next frame may chain dun sa pagpalit ng set ni Josh to Ken. So, dun sa set ni Josh, meron siyang parang sinira or brinake na chain. Then, nag-transition agad dun sa set ni Ken. Meron parang ganong transition. At this point, we could say na yung chain breaking na yun could mean na yun, pagsira ng mga paulit-ulit na mga nangyayari. Yung lyrics ni Josh doon na 20-20 paulit-ulit, blah, 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 blah. So, that could be symbolic, no? Like, breaking the chain, breaking the routines, breaking the usuals, or kung ano yung mga paulit-ulit na nangyayari sa society natin. We should break those things. As promised, no, I'd be talking about those like tattoos na mayroon sa each of the members. So, I wouldn't talk about them specifically, but in general na lang siguro na in connection dun sa chain breaking, we should break the idea na yung tattoos always mean like bad thing or could always be associated to like badass people or people who are in prisons, etc. But instead, look at tattoos as something like cultural, no, engraved doon sa culture and traditions ng mga Pilipino. Kasi if you didn't know or baka nakalimutan nyo na nung hindi pa Pilipinas ang Pilipinas, a lot of kumbaga leaders ng mga Pilipino or ng mga sinaunang tao sa Pilipinas. So, mayroong tattoos, no? Because it would mean or symbolize that you are a warrior or you're someone brave, diba? Not only warriors have them, a lot of like leaders and a lot of women also had tattoos nung unang panahon. So from now on, let's break that idea na tattoos are bad things or taboo and start thinking that tattoos are like huge part of our culture. And now let us proceed to the next element or theme that I bet you didn't notice on the music video, and that would be the uniforms or the, how do you call that? Costumes of SB19 on the latter part of the music video. So it's a tough call and tough decision, no, to use the colonizers inspired uniform for the characters or the artists themselves as if like representing them. And there was this part na meron silang scene na andun yung mga SB19 members sa scaffold na sa taas and like as if directing those like commoners or those people na naka like hindi ko alam kung kamisa de chino ang tawag dyan, pero yung mga white, how do you call that? Long sleeves na usually suot ng mga common Filipinos noong unang panahon. And yeah, balik tayo dun. So they were like colonizers, like, let's say, men using the clothes of the colonizers were leading them in an anthem. Okay, so they're, wow. So it's a tough call for them to like represent the colonizers and them leading the commoners, like but yeah, so in art we have this like poetic license. Siguro sa when it comes to like music, they have this like license, a license to like break the rules and just tweak or let's say play with the elements. So we could say that it's either they are breaking the like typical rules or the strict rules na kapag Pinoy ka, you are like the good one and the colonizers are the bad ones. They're trying to like challenge that, alright? Challenge that rule. So SB19 is somehow breaking the preset binary of good and bad, or the farmers and colonizers, or farmers and soldiers. So, malaking palaisipan yan, but let's not dig deeper with that. Let's now proceed to a literary element, which is, unconventionality. And this unconventionality is also echoed or also seen in the form of the music itself. So, I'm not a music specialist, hindi ako composer or kumbaga, pero mahilig lang ako makinig sa music. But you could definitely see right away or hear right away na yung mismong kanta na What has this rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall structure to it. And somehow you could say na it's a bit like kung i-compare mo sa normal na mga kanta, like let's say intro, then may first verse, then chorus, okay, then second verse, then chorus, blah blah blah, then let's say outro, or like merong parang bridge muna, bridge, tapos yada yada yada. Those things, ang mapapansin mo na medyo different tong What, kasi at some point, you could say na, hindi mo alam kung saan yung climax niya. There's just too many climaxes, we should say. Kung ihahalin tulad natin yan sa, let's say, writing or literary forms, ganyan, it doesn't follow the Freytag structure where mayroong introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, denouement, blah blah blah, then ending, blah blah blah. So yun na, nasabi ko na it doesn't follow the usual like Freytag's triangle or Freytag triangle, but instead, it follows this like spiral progression, alright? So intro, climax, then mag-rise naman to another level, then climax, then rise to another level. Kumbaga, instead of the usual Freytag or single climax, which can be associated to, I don't know if I should say this, but if you're a kid watching this right now, you can skip to, dapat nag-skip ka na. So I'm gonna be talking about how this Freytag or single climax can be associated to like male climax or male. What was that term? Oh wait lang. I now remember the term. Male orgasm, okay? Like single thing. But when we talk about spiral progression or multiple climaxes, that can be associated to female orgasm. In plural, female orgasms, alright? Okay, so, so, you know, I kind of, like, stan what Pablo was talking about, like, this kind of format where he was trying to mimic the style that was presented to us by, what was that song? Bohemian Rhapsody, guys. So, on one of the behind-the-scenes videos of the creation of what Pablo was talking about how he tried to offer a new taste or new form, which could also be found in like Bohemian Rhapsody. And now, let's proceed to the next symbolisms that I think some of you noticed, which are like the flags and the question marks on it. But what's different on this thing that I'm going to share to you is that from the start to finish, I'm sure you kinda look for, kumbaga, the Philippine flag, like the blue, red, yellow, white combination. Pero, kumbaga, parang wala. Alright? And I was like kinda disappointed na, bakit walang flag ng Philippines if they are like representing the Philippines, etc. But I kinda realized na it was a good thing for them not to do that, no? Kasi they are aiming to like have this kind of general idea of identity na they want to make the music video appealing to all nationalities. And so yung atake nila is, what's your identity as a person? They do not necessarily try to say na, pag Pilipino kami, Pilipino lang kami, regardless of what nationalities or other people's nationalities who are watching the music video. So I kind of like, bakit wala? So to me, okay lang naman na hindi ganun kalantaran yung flag, Philippine flag. Kasi nga, we're aiming to appeal also to other nationalities out there. And the reason why I'm okay with that, medyo may issue din tayo dun sa Philippine flag itself. Kasi Philippines is technically named in honor for the King of the Spain, which is King Philip. And it kinda, kumbaga, reflects on how we have this parang identity, kumbaga, given to us by the colonizers instead of us Filipinas giving identity to ourselves. Alright, so may mga ganyang drama, diba? So, hanggang ngayon nga, medyo debatable pa yung kung dapat ba Pilipinas yung tawag sa Pilipinas or if later in life, some people would like insist on changing the name of the Philippines. Blah, 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 blah. Alright? So yeah, let's go to the next symbolism, which are the maps and yung question marks on them. So, gaya ng sabi ko kanina, in relation to that, we have this struggle to build the identity or the identity of Filipinos or identity of Philippines as a country. Alright? So, ano ba ang Pilipinas? Sino nga ba talaga tayo? Ano nga ba talaga tayo? And that element, no, of question mark dun sa mapa and dun sa flag, hindi subtly actually, it really symbolically represents that kind of pursuit or struggle sa atin. Kaya nga rin siguro, right now, on this like generation, we have this like struggle or we have this like eagerness to be like widely known internationally. Gustong-gusto natin na nire-recognize tayo, gustong-gusto natin na napapansin tayo ng mga ibang nationalities, blah blah blah. Kaya nga nauso yung parang Filipino clickbaiting contents sa YouTube, diba? Kasi nga, we have that kind of parang pursuit or we have that kind of struggle na we want to be known, blah, 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 blah. Alright? So, yeah, that's an interesting, kumbaga, palaisipan or interesting topic to talk about, no? Kung kailan nga ba talaga tayo makakabuo ng sense of nation, okay? Sense of being Filipinos, sense of, kumbaga, nationality, identity, na sa atin talaga and hindi dictated by the colonizers or hindi dictated by the books that we read, hindi dictated and said by other nationalities about us, alright? So, tayo dapat yung nagsasabi kung ano at kung sino tayo at kung ano ang Pilipinas. Ayan, may palaban yung mga natin, guys. Alright, so, I think that's it. Siguro na lang. As promised, no, I'd be talking about yung element dun sa lyrics na Dalagang Bakal or yung Iron Maiden. I researched, guys, na hindi naman daw talaga totoo or walang enough basis na ginamit talaga yung Iron Maiden as means of like torturing the farmers sa ibang bansa at lalong-lalo na dito sa Pilipinas. So if you're someone na nakahanap ng mga literature about that, you can tell me or just comment below where we could like access that. Sa mga na-research ko kasi, walang definite source na nagsasabing totoo talaga yung Iron Maiden sa ibang bansa at lalong-lalo na dito sa Pilipinas. So, they would just say na itong mga Iron Maidens na to, they were just like concepts, no? Or hindi talaga yung exact na mga ginamit nung unang panahon. And as of the moment, they are just like used as, kumbaga, concept and idea, no? Na hindi naman talaga nag-exist. But it just so happens that they were just made as like tokens, kumbaga, images or items na people would just look in the museums, alright? Parang ganyan lang siya, guys. So, pero kung, let's say, ilalagay natin siya sa konteksto ng kanta and sa konteksto ng Pilipinas, Iron Maiden could just be a representation of abuse sa mga farmers or like people in general, Filipinos in general ng unang panahon. And that's it. Kumbaga, kung isa-isahin natin yung lyrics. Basag ang lente, pinunit-punit, hinubog ng dalagang bakal, sirits. So, parang created or forged by the Iron Maiden. So, parang balik lang din siguro to in reference to the concepts of like iron, throne, like swords, etc. And kumbaga, the country that we have today, or the concept, or the idea of Philippines, or being Filipinos nowadays, they are forged by the cruelty that we experienced before. Yung Pilipinas, diba, lagi siya nire-refer as, like, mother country. Diba, babae, girl. Also, we have this characters like Maria Clara, blah, blah, blah. But we have this lyric or concept ng Dalagang Bakal or Iron Maiden, where the idea of a woman is linked to something, kumbaga, cruel, dark, or associated to physical pain. Actually, hindi ko masyado nasusulat yung mga ideas ko about the lyrics and its translation. Kasi kung napapansin nyo guys, yung music video itself, may translation sa ibaba. And yun yung ginagamit na reference ng mga international YouTubers to understand kung ano yung music video. And based dun sa mga natutunan namin sa translation classes namin sa creative writing, there are a lot of things that are lost in translation. And siguro sa next part ng series na to, I would like to address that. I would like to discuss that. Kung ano yung mga words that I think work, no? When it comes to capturing the essence and the meaning of the music video. At kung ano naman yung mga words and phrases na I think hindi naging successful in capturing kung ano yung gustong sabihin ng kanta. So, abangan nyo yun. I hope that I'd be able to do that soon. I also hope and pray that everyone's doing well, no? When it comes to their physical health, and kasali na din dyan yung mental health natin. So, mulit-muli, ito si Riz, laging nagpapaalala na patuloy na magbasa, magsulat, at magmulat. God bless.